Hey everyone, I'm Ellen here at etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the Pacer Performance High 5 LED Truck Cab Light Kit. Now this is going to give you that big rig look for your truck and make you more visible on those days where maybe there's a lot of fog or it's a heavy snowstorm, rainstorm, whatever the case might be. Helps to give you that extra visibility while you're out on the road. Now this is going to be a kit that's modeled after the 2002 to 2006 Chevy or GM factory roof lights. So we'll have our longer bar of lights and then also the two smaller guys on the other side. Usually with these high 5, they're going to be 5 actual points of light, so each of these side ones will have just a single point of light, and then this larger one will have 3. So you'll kind of see 1, 2, 3 points that this will be lit up. Now this is going to utilize LEDs, so it's going to be a lot longer lasting and more efficient than the incandescent version. There is an incandescent version of this same light kit. It's exactly the same in every respect, just has only the incandescent bulbs. This kit also comes with those bulbs, but it has the LEDs as well, so that's something to keep in mind there. If you wanted to just go with the incandescent bulbs, you can find that kit here at etrailer.com using part number PP20-240. This is also available in a couple different lens styles. So right now we're looking at the amber lens with the white LEDs, but it's also available in smoke, which is just kind of a more gray or black finish, and then also in clear. So those are two kits that are also available here at etrailer.com. Now I'm going to hook this up so you can see what it's going to look like whenever it's installed. So I already have my LEDs in place. I'm going to connect my red to power, and then black to ground. And this light can be a little bit temperamental, at least with my setup here. I just have everything running off an external power box. So bear with me while I get this guy rolling here. Okay, and there we go. Our lights are on except for that middle one, which is just probably not pushed in all the way. So this is our LED, and I'm just going to make sure that it's all the way in there. I flip it around just to make sure that the contacts are in the right spot. And then you basically just give these a little quarter turn inside that housing to get them in place, and there it goes. So now all 3 lights are turned on. I'm going to turn the studio lights out so you can get a better idea of how bright those are. So you can see we'll have our 3 lights there. They give us that look for our vehicle. So they're not terribly bright. This isn't going to light up the night or anything. It just is there to give you that extra visibility for other drivers to see you as you're coming down the road, and also just kind of give us that cool big rig look for our truck. So everything else that you see here laid out on the table is what comes in the kit. As I mentioned, we'll have our incandescent bulbs. These are going to be the 2 wirings to go in our 2 smaller lights here. So it's kind of similar to the little plug I showed you guys earlier. Basically just take one of these, pop it into place in that little socket, and then it'll hold in place. The bulbs just push into the sockets themselves, so pretty easy when it comes to that portion. Now with this kit, you will have to do some drilling, you will have to do some modification to your truck, so keep that in mind. This does have to be drilled into the cab of your vehicle so that it can get mounted in place. It comes with several screws to do that, as well as these little rubber grommets to help keep water out from getting in. So if you put that little rubber grommet right underneath the head of the bolt, it should give it some protection as it goes through the housing. Not a bad idea to maybe also pick up some silicone sealant or gasket maker just for extra protection, especially around the base of the light, maybe on the inside. It does have this kind of rubber boot or the rubber grommet going around it to help give it a little bit of cushion. But if it were me putting it on my truck, I just would want to make sure that there's absolutely no chance of water getting in there. So you might put a little silicone around the base there, and then these little black pieces fit into that channel to give those screws something to kind of hold into against the light. And so maybe around that spot. It does kind of have a little indentation, so you shouldn't have too much issue with that that silicone squeezing out and getting all over the top of your truck, you can find that gasket maker here at etrailer.com if you want to pick some up. So we'll have the lights, the sockets, those little pieces that I mentioned before. We'll also have these quick splice connectors. Now these are going to be to make your electrical connections in place. I would maybe switch these out for a heat shrink butt connector or at least an insulated butt connector. They just tend to hold up better over time. These guys are usually the first point of failure for any kind of aftermarket electrical part. They can just vibrate apart. They don't always hold very well because they're just held in place by this little clip piece. Sometimes it breaks off. Whatever the case might be, that tends to be what fails on these things. So I would suggest getting an insulated butt connector instead. They'll also give you your switch, a wiring with the fuse in place. So one end of the little spade terminal goes to one of the prongs coming off our light. The other end will go to the longer wire which connects into our lights. You might also need to pick up some extra wire for the ground connection on these. The black wire is going to go to ground there. They don't really give you any wire to account for that ground, so that'd be another thing that I would pick up. Fairly straightforward install. If you have a mechanical knowledge at all, it really shouldn't be too bad. It's mostly just you want to be really careful about making those measurements whenever you go to drill into your truck. As far as the measurement for the light itself, it's about 15¼ inch long by about 5 inches wide and about 1¾ inches tall. The smaller lights are each going to be about 3¼ inch long by about 4 and 11/16 inches long, and then about 1 9/16 inches tall. It is backed by a 60-day limited warranty from Pacer. This meets all SAE specifications, and that's pretty much going to do it for our look at the Pacer Performance High 5 LED Truck Cab Light Kit.